You want me to talk a little bit about the start of the Korean War Memorial?
Yeah, let's do that first, and then we'll talk about the schools. Yeah. So a little bit about all the hurdles and the start of it, and then thank anybody you want to thank. That just anything you want to say. Maybe thank the whole Korean people and of course the Korean government, and yeah, then we could. And thanks, John. So it doesn't need to be too long, of course, but yeah, your voice sounds strong to me, so I think this will be worth doing. So. You want to cue him, Denise, when you're ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
The Korean War Memorial Project was a complex project in that we had three partners. We had the foundation, we had the Korean government, and we had the Presidio Trust. We started this project back in 2009, formally organized it in 2010 as a 501c3 operation. We were fortunate that we had good leadership, first in Pete McCloskey, then Judge Kopp, Don Reed, and Manjay Kim, and Jerry Parker, who we brought on as the executive director. We had looked for a site for some time before the Presidio made available. As I was saying, we worked on this for a long time. Looking for the site took several years, and looking for the model to build also took several years. The people who were most helpful to us were people like Michael Boland at the Presidio, who found the site that we finally selected and has given us support. But the person who deserves the most credit for the physical memorial is Michael Lamb, who is the historical landscape architect for the Presidio. And not only did he develop the design, but he oversaw the construction. The people that we also want to thank, though, is Consul General Han of the Korean Consulate, who was a Korean consulate during this time. 52% of the funds that we raised came from Korean sources. 1 million from the Korean government, and the rest of it from Korean corporations and individuals. The other 48% came from American corporations, organizations, and individuals. We should thank the many, many donors who gave not only money, but gave their time in support of this. For example, Tom Chi, who's donated several $1,000s. In addition, he's Johnny on the spot whenever we need anything, from a chauffeur lift to a meeting out in Fremont to moving slabs of slate from the Presidio to our office in the War Memorial Building. We owe thanks to the Marine Corps League, who provided all of our really guards and what do you call the people who manage crowds?
The ushers or the
Ushers at the different events that we've held. We owe thanks to Tom Graves, who is a professional photographer who did the photographic work. We owe thanks to Don Downey and company for the work that they did, and to John Garvey for the work that he did. There are just so many people to thank for the work that's been done. Our original group was made up of Major General Myatt Admiral Gorman, Dr. Sue, Don Reed, Hoover Jen, back in 2009. By 2010, Admiral Gorman had serious medical problems and had to drop out. And the others, Hoover Jen is now deceased. He was not able to see the fruits of his labor. And what's remaining of that group is, besides myself, is Manjay Kim and Don Reed. Pete McCloskey had to resign because of health reasons, and he's been replaced by Judge Cobb. Enough?
So, what's your next leg of the project?
Our bylaws laid out two tasks for us. One was to erect a memorial for the Forgotten War, which we've done. The second was to provide education to the general public about the Forgotten War. We've broken that down into several segments. One is to provide material for teachers in the 7th and 8th grade level of schools to teach, with the material to support that lesson plan. Because the Korean War veterans won't be around very well to do the teaching. The initial teaching, the first class, will be held this fall at Lowell High School, where our Director of Education, Wally Stewart, will do the actual presentation. We have provided in our budget money to train teachers and to provide, it's me, the material necessary to support the teaching. We're also looking at the possibility of having a docent during the summer months at the memorial. Because if you go out there today, anytime during the day, you'll find a half a dozen people looking at the memorial. And every time I've been there, they've asked questions. We also look at it as a place to bring younger school children in on school trips. And the last, we're supporting an exchange student program between the University of San Francisco and a university in Seoul.
Wonderful, John. Well, I'm so happy this memorial has been built and you're going to continue your work educating everyone about the Korean War. What were some of the hurdles that you did have to go through? This had to be a pretty complex thing. Were there any hurdles, or how easy was it, John?
But getting all the permissions and
It was a lot easier than you might think because of the help that we had. If I had to do it by myself, it never happened.
Yes.
McCloskey did a great job, and Judge Kopp has done an equally great job. Two different, pieces of it.
So, what are your personal feelings about accomplishing this? Go ahead and let it out. How has this been for you personally, John, this last month here?
Oh, it's been very exciting and very, pleasurable. It's always nice to see the job done, whatever it might be. And this is a particularly well done job. And we owe that to the Presidio, to Michael Lamb and his support.